everyone, my name is Keely and I'm the owner and creator here at Soy and Shea, and thank you for joining me for another soap making video. Today we're going to get stuck into doing the September gemstone soaps, and we're going to start with Carnelian. Let's go. Let's get this soap started by pouring in our sodium hydroxide and distilled water solution, which has just a little bit of tussar silk in there to add some slip and glide to the soap. Pouring that into my oils, and I am working at room temperature as always. Going to give this a quick mix, bring it to emulsion, and then I'm going to split it out for a few colours. So we are all mixed up there. Into my little jug here I have a combination of colours. I have got some rosewood mica, which I have added in a little bit of really red mica from Nurture Soap just to bring out the redness, but also added in a little bit of extra or a little bit of activated charcoal just to darken it up a little bit. And into my smaller jug here I have got some titanium dioxide. We only need a little bit of that one. Into my big jug, the main colour for this soap is going to be orange, and I am using some nectarine mica. So I'm going to pop this in, get these colours mixed, and then we'll put our fragrance in. So my colours are all mixed in there. My soap is a little bit thick this morning because we are working at a room temperature of about 15 degrees, and that Shea Butter just makes it that little bit thicker. But hopefully once we get the fragrance oil in, that will loosen up a little bit for me. Fragrance oil I am using today is called Cedar and Saffron. It does have 0.4% vanillin in it, so I'm only going to add a tiny amount to the white. Just want it to have enough fragrance in there but not discolour too much, and the titanium dioxide should really help with that. This fragrance has notes of bergamot, aniseed, eucalyptus, clove, cinnamon, peppercorn, and has a sweeter base of vanilla, musk, amber, and patchouli, and it really is a lovely smelling fragrance. Right, so this fragrance oil seems to be playing really nicely here, which is great. The reason I chose this one is because those sort of fragrance notes really give me motivation. Just by smelling them, I kind of come alive. I feel motivated to go and do things. And the reason that I chose it was because carnelian is the stone of motivation and endurance. It is said to restore vitality and motivation while at the same time bringing forward creativity. It can give courage and promote positive life choices, and for those that are timid when it comes to public speaking, it can encourage you to be a lot more bold and to get out there and say what you want to say. It's also known as the singer's stone, as it gives courage to performers, and it is said to sharpen concentration and dispel mental tiredness, and it can also protect against envy, rage, and resentment. It is part of the base and sacral chakra, and it represents Taurus, Cancer, Leo, and Virgo with a planet of Mars and an element of fire. And for all of you July babies, this is your stone. So now that I have got all that mixed in, I'm going to start pouring this into my mold. Now it is a very, very simple stone, this one, so I'm going to try and keep my design very simple as well. I'm going to do the white into my big bucket here as a bit of a drop swirl. We'll keep some of it back to maybe do the top, not much, just a bit there. We'll grab our mold and we're going to start pouring that in, and then I'm going to do little drop swirls in between with that darker red colour. absolutely loving the top on that. It has behaved so well. I'm going to leave it sit here for about 10 minutes so that can firm up, and we can come back and put our carnelian stones on the top and learn a little bit more about their origins, appearance, and their history. So here are our gemstones which are going onto the soap today. These are carnelian, and it comes from the Latin word for flesh, and that would possibly be because of these sort of tones of colour that you get in these stones. They go from everything from this real pale peachy sort of colour that you get in that sort of stone right up into these really dark orangey red sort of colours. They're known as part of the chalcedony or quartz family, and they have very faint bands of colour in them. So let me see if I can get one here. So that's probably the best one. You can see that there are layers of colour in them, but they are very, very faint. They're found in quite a few different places, including Brazil, Uruguay, Japan, and Russia. And there are large deposits of them found in Queensland, Australia, and Queensland is the state that I live in. They're also found in places in like large quantities in places like Czech Republic, parts of France, and Germany. You can also find carnelian in certain US states, including Connecticut, Florida, and New Jersey. But they say that some of the best carnelian stones actually come out of India, and they are quite dark, the ones that are actually mined over in India, and they place them in the sun to lighten them up in colour. Now, this stone has been around for quite some time. It is the gemstone of the 17th anniversary, and it was worn by Egyptian architects to show rank as a builder. So those that were building the pyramids and things, they would have been wearing these to show that sort of rank of being a builder for the pharaohs. It was also left as jewels to the dead to help them in their afterlife. So it helped them cross over from here into the afterlife sort of journey that they went on. And it has also been not only worn by Egyptian builders, but it's also been worn by other builders throughout the year as a way of protecting them against falling masonry and other accidents that may happen in the workplace. And we still use it today to protect, or some people still use it today to protect their homes. In the Middle Ages, alchemists would boil it with other chalcedony stones to actually activate their energies. So this has been used for many years for their spiritual healing as well. It is the first stone in the high priest's breastplate, and it is representative of the blood of martyrs. And so it was once also believed to prevent illness and plague. So it's actually got quite an interesting and very diverse sort of history depending upon which cultures that you are looking into. It is a very pretty stone, and when we were going through them, we were trying to pick the ones that had sort of like the prettiest bands of colour and sort of a variety of colours through them as well. I'm almost at the end of putting this in here. The soap has set up a little bit more than what I was wanting, but I have just received a very exciting delivery. If you're following along with me on Instagram, you would have seen that I have just had a delivery from a place called Bunnings. It is like a local home garden sort of warehouse sort of thing. I will be posting more about that over on Instagram if you do want to go and follow me over there. I have just got all of those in. They look to be nicely lined up in there, so hopefully the cutter will miss them all. I am going to leave this one sit here overnight, and then we're going to come back in just a moment and have a look at what swirls we've got. I reckon we're going to get some really, really pretty ones in there because of how fluid it was. Okay, I am back to cut into carnelian. I am absolutely loving how this one has turned out. Can't wait to get it cut open and see what we've got on the inside here. Let's get this one all nicely lined up and make sure that our wires aren't going to skirt around any of those gemstones, because that will leave a really weird wonky cut in the soap. Let's get cut through here. It's going through very nicely. And let's take a look. Alright, so let's take a look. Let's go from this end for something a little bit different. And that is the inside of Carnelian. That is absolutely beautiful. It is exactly how I wanted it to come up. You can see if we have a look at the stone, so it's predominantly orange, and then you've got those dark streaks and then those bits of white in there as well. So that is just absolutely perfect for the stone. If you've been watching for a while, you will know that I do like to match my soaps and fragrances and things, and I'm doing these gemstone soaps. I just like to match the inside of the soap to the top of the stones. I'm a little bit OCD about things like that. I just can't do a coconut lime fragrance and do it in purples. It just doesn't match or doesn't work for me. So I'm really, really pleased with how that has come up. It is exactly how I wanted it to look. I hope you have enjoyed watching how I made my Carnelian soap. If you're interested in getting your hands on a bar of this one will be part of the September release of Gemstone Soaps. And if you want to see how this actually goes through its cure process and what it looks like at the end, come and follow me over on Instagram, because I will post pictures of this one at the end of its cure, and you can see if that small amount of vanillin in this one does anything to the colours. So again, I hope you have enjoyed watching how I made this soap. And if you did, why not leave me a thumbs up, any comments down below, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.